Very good morning, students. Students, this is 4 mark questions of chapter 5 challenges of Succinist and restoration of Congress systems. Right? So, what does first question is 4 mark? What does defection stand for in Indian politics? Students, defection was a factor in 1960 election. It played important role in formation and collapsing of the government. Collapsing of the defections display the behavior of an elected representative who leaves the party on whose symbols he won't join to another party. The dimension of this practice was it caused instability within party and promote political opportunisms among party legislatures. Right? So this is the meaning of the defections. Right? Question number 2. Describe the organization of Congress party as a social and ideological coalitions. The social and answer is social and ideological coalition of Congress party were the following. It was based on the liberal socialism. Second is it believed to bring change in society by peaceful means and within constitutional provisions. It believed in social coexistence and communal harmony. And it gave priority to the welfare of the minorities. Now question number 3. What factor were responsible for the arrival of Congress party in India? Right? So we can say that the main outcome of general election of 1971, which were responsible for restoration or revival of Congress, were the followings. The Congress or CPI alliance won more seats and votes than the Congress had ever won in the first 4 general elections. The second, the 1971 elections were followed by the crisis in East Pakistan, Indo-Pak War, leading to the establishment of Bangladesh. Under leadership of Indira Gandhi, her party swept through all the seat assembly elections held in 1972 with 2 successive elections victory, one at the center and other at the state level. The dominance of Congress was restored. Now the question number 4. Why was the year 1967 considered as a landmark in Indian politics and electoral history? The 4th general election held in 1967 was the first election to be held without Nehru. Congress was dominant party before 1967, but scenario was likely to change after 1967 election. Several non-Congress parties joined together to bring Congress down. They realized their disintegration kept Congress in power, so they joined to form big alliance called Sanyukta Vidhayak Dal. Congress still managed to win in Lok Sabha election, but with the poorest performance ever. Congress lost in many seats. Influential leader of the Congress lost their position. Many Congress leaders left the party in order to join other party. Local politics gained momentum. In Tamil Nadu, a non-Congress party won on its own for the first time. 1967 election showcased the new element which never came into light. Defection and coalition play an important role and new element were in the scenes of electoral politics. This situation could not have remained isolated from party politics in the country. The opposition party got together and formed anti-Congress front in some states. This strategy was given the name of non-Congressism by Ram Manohar Lohia. He argued that Congress rule was undemocratic and opposed the interest of ordinary people. Therefore, the non-Congress parties were necessary for reclaiming democracy for the people. Now the question number 5. What is meant by privy pursuit and why did Indira Gandhi insist on abolition them? Now the answer is, at the time of dissolutions of princely state, the rulers of princely state had been assured that their family would get the right to retain certain private property and based on heredity or government allowances would also given by the extent of revenue and potential of the merging state. This was called privy pursuit. Indira Gandhi insisted on abolition of privy pursuit because according to Indira Gandhi. Such privilege to them goes against the essence of constitutions. It was against the right to equality. Even Nehru had shown his disrespect against such privilege. After she won in 1967 election, she put her demand to abolish privy pursuit. This means hereditary privilege was against the idea of equality and social economic justice which is embedded in Indian constitutions. Third, in 1970 demanded to amend Privy Pursuit was rejected by Rajya Sabha and ordinance was put down by Supreme Court, and it was in 1971 after she won the great majority she was able to amend the constitution to abolish Privy Pursuit. Now question number 6. The phrase Aya Ram Gaya Ram signify which concept? Explain its impact on the Indian political system. The expression of Aya Ram Gaya Ram became popular in political vocabulary in India to describe the practice of frequent floor crossing by the legislature. The phrases become the subject of numerous jokes and cartoons. Ultimately, the constitution was amended to prevent defections. Impact on Indian political systems as follows. It leads to instability within political party. It promotes political opportunisms and it erodes the faith trust of common peoples. It causes unstable government. Describe and two disadvantages and two disadvantages of the coalitions government in India. Advantages of coalition are as follows. Coalition government provide an alternative to form government whenever there is a case of hung parliament. It gives opportunity to small and regional parties to have representations in government. Disadvantage of coalition are as follows. It leads to instability in government as different parties put the government differently and government find itself unable to take right decisions at right times. It reduces credibility of SPC, PM, CM as their tenures depend at the pleasure of coalition partner. It produce weak government. Question 8. Why is decade of 60s labeled as a dangerous decade? After the death of Nehru, serious doubts were raised by the many of whether India's democracy experiment will survival after Nehru. It was feared that, like to so many other newly independent countries, India too would not able to manage democratic succession. As a failure to do so, it was forced could lead to political role of the army. Besides, there were doubt in the new leadership would be able to handle multiple crises. And solution of the 1960s were labeled as the dangerous decade when unresolved problems like poverty, inequality, communal and regional division could lead to failure of democratic project or even the disintegration of the country. Now the question number 6 you can see here. 9. Question number 9 you can see, and question number 10. What do the following is relate to the Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, Garibi Hatao, Indra Hatao, and Grand Alliance. I have already discussed this, so you can go through it. So hope student you understand it. Have a great day ahead. Thanks for